You're currently listening to Sunday Grove, and we're on the segment of real estate today where we're going to be talking about everything about property. And yes, today the topic is what are the things to look out for when you want to purchase a property in Lagos. You know, Lagos is a very big place. Yes, a very, very big place with so much rules. Yeah, with so much rules. And if you're not careful, you just find yourself you find yourself in trouble. Yeah, let me use that word, trouble, because Lagos is a place where you want to respect yourself. It's a city full of life, and you know, people there are so energetic, and everybody just wants to get things done quickly. But at the same time, when you're doing things in Lagos, you want to be careful. You want to be sure that you're doing the right thing, taking the right steps, and that also applies to the real estate industries, because the real estate industry right now is one of the biggest industry in Nigeria. In fact, it's growing like, I don't know, maybe I should say which is faster, speed, train speed or jet speed. I don't know which is faster. I think jet is faster. So it's growing at that space, and if you're not careful, you end up falling into the wrong hands when you want to purchase a property, which is why I brought on show today professionals in the industry who will be telling us what are the things you need to look out for when you're purchasing a property in Lagos. And I have with me right here, I have, is it Miss or Mrs.? Miss. Before I will pass my boundary. Okay, so I have here with me Miss Uche John, who is a realtor, and she brought, in fact, actually, I went for one person, and she dragged along a colleague of hers, who is also a realtor like her, and I have also here with me. And funny enough, they are both Uche. So I have Uche raised to power 2 in the building. So ladies and gentlemen, help me to welcome the two Uche raised to power 2.
Thank you for having us.
Wow, I'm so excited to have you here because trust me, we're about to save your life today. Honestly, you know, there are a lot of people out there that are looking for a way to, you know, either invest in real estate or they just want to purchase a property for themselves. But it's been one of the most difficult things to do in Lagos right now because there are so many real estate companies out there and there are so many realtors out there as well. You don't even know who to trust. You don't know who to, you know, do business with. So the only thing you can do is, you know, probably listen to radio, and even sometimes those you heard their voice on radio cannot be 100%, but you just have to, you know, go with one faith, like, okay, I'm sure this person, let me just give it a try. But at the same time, I want us to try as much as possible to be convincing enough, which is why I'm bringing you guys here. Because I know if I'm gonna tell them, okay, just go to so place, follow the adverts and all of that, you might still not get what you want. I mean, if I'm to like recap what happened some years back in Lekki about those that actually purchased some properties, and later on the government flagged it, oh, it's not good and all of that, and some people lost their money while some were able to recover the money back. So to avoid such thing happening again, so that is why I decided that, okay, I need to educate Lagosians. What are the things to look out for? What do you, even if you don't have a professional to look out for you, if you're going into the market on your own to find out, okay, oh, I love this property and I want to have it for myself or for a business or something, what do I need to look out for? So let's start with that. So who should I start with now? I have Uche raised to power 2, and I'm not a good mathematician. I would have loved to solve that equation, but as it is now, okay, let me just go with mini, mani, mo, mini. Okay, let me be fair. So let me start with you.
All right.
So what are the things that we should look out for? Let's start by you know, getting to know you, because I know you. I'm sure my listeners don't.
All right, I do that. Well, thank you, Lasisi, for having me. And thank you, our viewers. My name is Uche John. I'm a property consultant. I help people find and invest in genuine, titled, and affordable properties in the land of Lagos. So that's my name. Should I go ahead?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. Like we know, real estate, real estate industry is a burgeoning industry. It's growing in split seconds. The value in real estate cannot be overemphasized. So, not investing in real estate is very, very wrong. However, we should be wise.
Okay.
It's very important to take precautions. That you just want to invest. Yeah, you're hearing that real estate investment, the industry is burgeoning, there's so much value. It is the truth. We can't overemphasize that, but you need to be careful. What do you have to look out for? First and foremost, I think people should have the knowledge before going into real estate investing. I think you should ask yourself first and foremost, what do I want?
Okay.
The real estate, investing in real estate, there are different things. Either you're investing in the land or you're investing in the building. So you should ask yourself, what do I want and why do I want this thing? Now, if you want to do land, there are different spheres to the land investment. Do you want an investment or you want a place you can build immediately? There are two different things. Now, if you're looking out for investing for the short term, that means you're looking out for a house or an already developed location.
Okay.
But if you're looking for immediate returns, so you're looking for a building that you can build and make rental income, so you should be aware of what you want. That's the first stance you should create before going into real estate. Most people don't understand this. You just see people investing and you feel, oh, let me just buy a land, let me just buy a house. The reason you should ask yourself, why do I want to invest? What do I want? Do I want a long-term investment, maybe investing in a fast developing location and get the returns in the long run? That's one. Or I want a building where I can start making rental income from. I just want to live. Okay, I don't want to go into the other part where I'm looking for a house to just live in. That's not an investment, but let me not go into that aspect.
Okay.
That's another thing. Now, that's one I've talked about why you are investing. Secondly, is to look at your budget.
Okay.
So now, what do you have on ground? You want, because your budget will not determine what you should look out for. I see people come to me as a consultant. I see people come to me with just little funds, and they're telling me they want to buy a house in maybe Lekki, and you're telling me you have ₦1 million, and I'm laughing. I don't know if I'm laughing at myself. I'm just laughing at you because it's not possible. Yes, 1 million is a very good amount to start with, but it is not the location you're looking at. So you should ask yourself, what's my budget, and what can my budget afford me?
Okay.
That's one thing you should look out for. Then thirdly is the location. So from the budget, you now know your budget. Now look at location.
Okay.
Like I said, we have fast developing locations. We have already developed locations.
Okay.
So now you should ask yourself, like the first instance I created, where do you want to invest? The location matters. Now, if you have a little budget, of course you're looking out for fast developing locations. So that's why you should say, what's my budget and where should I put in this money? Let's say one that has ₦1 million. You can go to the fastest developing location we have now is Lekki, because the infrastructural development we have along the axis. So you can tell yourself, okay, with this, I can get a property in this axis. You should not be looking at Lekki.
Oh, okay.
It's not impossible something. Sorry, I'm using that. Okay, so
wow.
So you're looking at your budget and you're looking at the location. So these are the things you should look out for before going into investment. So ask yourself that question. What do I want to do? And if you have the money, ask yourself, why am I investing? Am I investing for the short term? Am I investing for the long term? These things will inform the decision one should make before investing.
Wow. Okay. Which is to power 2 second. Is there something you would like to add to that?
Well, I think those are the fundamentals of the factors that should be considered when looking into investment in
Okay.
real estate.
Wow.
The budget and the location. Yes, those are the things, because people have high expectations with not measurable budgets.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is one of the duties of the realtor, to educate them on what their budgets can afford them.
Okay.
You know. So, and then one more thing I'd like to add, in considering investing in real estate, is that the time will not wait for you. So if you're going to make any decision, if you're going to make a decision concerning investment, you probably, of course, must have thought about it.
Okay.
So, but the truth is usually not advisable to keep delaying on the matter, having in mind the little knowledge you had when you started
Okay.
I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's good to work with realtors, and then this, as they educate you, it will inform your decision, to inform your considerations. But if you keep delaying, because the information will be changing.
Yes.
As
Yes.
you're delaying.
Yes.
So that's one of the things to discuss.
Okay, so if I may ask, you mentioned something earlier when you were telling us what to look out for. You said if I have 1 million, I should not think about Lekki. Can you expatiate on that? Because in my mind now, I feel if I have 1 million, come on, I should be able to buy a land.
Okay, yes, with 1 million, you can definitely buy a land,
Okay.
but it's not the location.
Hmm.
There was a time you could get, with that 1 million, you could get a land in Lekki for less.
Okay.
For less than a million. But definitely now, it's now a developed place. You should be talking about 120 80 a plot of land in Lekki now. But there are places, you want to say something?
120
Yes, now, yes.
or
80
80
million, yes.
for
80
how many?
million for a plot of land. So there was a time.
Somebody wake me up.
There was a time it was this 1 million. There was a time it was 800,000.
Wow.
But those with foresight, one thing with investment, you need to have foresight.
Hmm.
You need to have foresight. If you
I catch that.
people that smart investors, they have foresight. They see a bush and they already know what they want to do with that bush. But there's this thing I talk about wealthy people and the poor. The reason I know Rich Dad has written his, but the reason rich people get richer and poor people get poorer. The rich people say, okay, they see a bush, and you went like it was water. Like even to show you your plot, they have to use stones, like those tray stones. That's your plot.
Wow.
And people that had that foresight saw it, they bought into it with how much? Thousands of naira. Now they got those things. They will develop that place. They will bring people. They will make it so enticing. People will come, but the poor will still use the little money they have to come and give back to the rich to get what they developed.
Wow.
So that's
So
the thing. So I tell people, the little you have, take it to that place where you can afford.
Okay.
It's a bush now, but you can turn it into the city you want it to be. Like I mentioned some fast developing locations. I mentioned Ibejuleke. That's for now because of the interest rates there. So look out for these places that have high stake of development and fast development. Look at what is happening there. As you have the refinery already going, you have the deep sea port that they're already working on. You have the Lekki Free Trade Zone. That's an investor zone. So and I'm telling the truth, people going in there are still the rich people, but the poor will still stay in their back and I tell you,
It's too far.
it's too far. Oh, you're giving it too far. But these people, they see these things, they see what is coming up. They're not looking at distance. In fact, yes, I need to mention this. When you're looking for a place to invest, never talk about distance.
Really?
It's an investment.
Okay.
The house I live, even if I built it, it's not an investment. It's not going to yield me money.
Sure.
Investment is something that's going to give you money. Now, you're not planning to go and live there, but someone will need that place to live. So you are solving someone's problem in the future, and that is investment.
Wow.
So
How come we don't see it that way?
that's the reason we're here, and that's what I tell people. When you meet me at first, what I ask you is your budget. With your budget, I can make a firm decision for you. Because we have a lot of, as individuals, we have a lot of things. We're seeing the beautiful houses, and I'm telling myself, I don't get 1 million. I can't get tonight. But
And that's exactly how I mean, look at the way I asked you the question just now. That I have 1 million naira now. Can't I buy a land in Lekki, not knowing that there's somewhere else there that if I put the 1 million there will
it's
probably,
going to grow.
become better.
Yes. So instead of hoarding, and the mistake people made, or something she talked about, you waiting before you invest, because okay, you have 1 million. I'm telling you, a plot of land in Lekki now is 80 million, and you're telling yourself, okay, I want to, I'll keep saving. Let me save till I get this amount. And I tell people, no, don't save in land. There's something called land banking.
Wow.
You see that 1 million you have, plant it as a seed somewhere else. It will keep growing. Because the truth is, when you go back to that property that they told you is 45 million or is 80 million, when you go, let's say you save, as in you gave yourself 2 years to save 45 or 80 million. I'm telling the truth, when you go back there in 2 years, the value of that property will not remain the same because it's not going to wait for you. It has to keep appreciating.
Yes.
And then your money can't get you what you want. And if you had invested the money in somewhere else, you would have gotten the 18 million and even more on it.
Wow.
So the thing is that you don't wait to invest. The little you have, I tell people, just bring it on. How much do you have? Tell me. I'll show you a place you can plant that money. You can plant as a seed and it will grow. And when you're selling it off, you can sell it off, or you just chill for it to keep appreciating and build a city out of it.
Oh, wow. Now I know what to do with my money. Okay, so before going to the next question I want to ask you, I have a question from one of our listeners on Facebook here, and the person wants to know if it is wise to take a loan to buy a property.
Okay. I would say I don't want to give a block answer.
Okay.
I will put it this way. Now it depends. Why am I getting this? I go back to my first question when we started this show. Why am I getting this property? If I'm going to get a property because I have an idea, I want to build an industry.
Okay.
Do you understand? I'm going to get money from this thing. Maybe say, okay, let me take Dangote.
Okay.
The refinery is building at the Lekki Free Trade Zone. I'm telling you, bulk of that money, it's not for him.
Oh.
They are investors' money.
Wow.
Do you understand? So people have come together, given this money to build that, but they had a stake in that thing.
In the
and
business.
Yes, so if I'm going to get this loan because of a business,
Okay.
of course.
You can do that.
But what I don't advise is getting a loan to have a house that I'm going to live in.
Okay.
Because I don't have.
That makes sense.
I don't have what I will use to pay back.
Oh.
But if it's for a business, I know I've looked at the business. I've looked at the liquidity of this business. Maybe I've given myself 5 years or even 10 years to get this thing. Because that's what I'm telling the bank or whoever I'm getting the loan from. Okay, this is when I'll be getting this money. I'm going to pay back, of course, with interest. But I've seen the liquidity of the business. I've seen the traction of the business in the long run. So I can tell myself, okay, by this time, I'm going to be able to pay off. But if I'm going to loan money to build my personal house or loan money to just build a house, I'm not seeing that as a very good decision.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, there's this question that just came to mind, and it's something that happens a lot,
Okay.
which I've seen people do, but I don't know if it's a good idea. I noticed that there are some family in Lagos that they usually, maybe there's a property they have somewhere, and that property is no longer, like, let me say, not in vogue. The design of the house is like way too old for people to even think of renting or something. So they look for like a property agent or something to, give it to. You tell the person rebuild it and, to something modern that we can rent out. Then they'll probably venture into like some sort of agreement that, okay, you can take the rent for some years, then we take over after some years. So I don't know, is that a good thing to do in case you have a property that's like 80s, 90s kind of properties?
Okay, you're looking out for developers to help revamp the property.
Developers, yes.
Developers revamp the property. Yes, it's business. The real estate industry, it's all about business. What people do, especially in Lekki, most of the houses are in joint venture property.
Okay.
What does that mean? I have a property in Lekki, let's say 600 square meters I have, or you're an architect, you know how to build. You're a civil engineer, I tell you, okay, I'm going to share this property into 2.
Okay.
Build mine, then take the other part. That's my payment to you.
Hold on, I'm lost.
Okay. I have a property, a full plot of land. Now you build, and I don't want to use my money to build.
Okay.
Now I'm telling you, build on this 600 square meters. I'm giving you half of it. So my payment to you for building mine
is that half
given to you. So it's all business. It's an agreement.
So no payment involved.
So it's an agreement. We have reached an agreement. Same thing with this question you asked. Now I have an old building, but I don't have the money to revamp. I have developers who can help me source for the funds and they revamp and the agreement is, okay, you're going to take maybe the rent or whatever for this number of years, and after this you give it back to me. It's an agreement. It's written on paper. It's been signed. I don't see any issue with that as long as an agreement for both parties.
Wow, that's a good one. If we can do that, then I think people should start doing that. I mean, maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, Nigeria will look different.
Sure.
if you're doing that.
Joint ventures work a lot, partnerships work a lot with building. You don't have to be the one to bring out the money. Something should go for something.
Okay.
But let that agreement be sealed, because that's why people have problem. Let it be sealed. Let it be open to both parties. Do you understand? Before that is agreed on. Yes.
Okay, speaking of agreements and documents.
Okay.
So now, if to purchase a property, what are the documents I should expect to receive from the seller
Okay.
that will prove that yes, I now own this property?
All right. Okay. I don't know if I'll mention this later. Okay, but let me just go straight to the answer to your question. First, when you make a purchase
Okay.
from a developer or maybe the community or something, you must get your purchase receipt.
Okay.
You must get that receipt that shows the amount you paid for the property, and at the end of the payment, you're going to be getting a contract of sale.
Contract of sale.
Yes, it's a contract of
Okay.
sale. The contract of sale embodies the description of the property, everything about the property, and it also borders on the name of the participants, of the parties involved in the transaction.
Okay.
You understand? The buyer and the seller, their names, and like I said, the full description of property, how many plots you're buying, the location of the place, all the people, the families involved, where the families it was bought from. So these
Okay.
things will be highlighted, and also the in that agreement, there are the do's and the don'ts, what you'll be doing on the property, if it's an estate, what will be coming after now, if there are other payments you should make, everything would be in that agreement, your contract. So it's a contract of sale, and you must get that from anybody you're buying a property from. And before you get that contract of sale, make sure you go through it.
Okay.
So that's why it's good to get a lawyer most of the time. Especially when if you're not buying from the developers, because some of the developers, the companies already have lawyers that have gone through these things. But if you're buying from the company directly, you can't do it on your own. It's not possible. In fact, you can't buy real estate on your own. Get a lawyer, so they can go through, because those things are tiny. It's something you can gloss over, but make sure you read line by line and understand the contract before you sign. And there must be a place for signature. The seller and the buyer must sign on that agreement.
Okay.
Also like a third party, just
And the
for
third party,
extra,
yes, must be a witness to that.
But there's something you mentioned while you're explaining that in the contract, do's and don'ts. I thought I'm buying the property. Would they still tell me what I can build, what I cannot build, what I can use it for, what I can use it for?
Okay, yes, okay. I think I should just start from the beginning. Before you buy a property.
Okay, sorry, please let me just quickly say this before we
Okay.
continue. In case you're just joining us, you're listening to Sunday Groove, and we're currently on the segment of real estate today. We'll be talking about what to look out for when you want to purchase a property in Nigeria. And in case you want to join the conversation, you can send us a message via WhatsApp on 080-9791-0074. That's for WhatsApp. I'll call the number again, 080-9791-0074. And in case you want to send us a text message or you want to call in on the show, you can call us on 080-9791-0073. 080-9791-0073. You can send us a text message via that as well. And if you're watching us live on Facebook, of course, I'll be reading your comments, so you can leave a comment at the comment box there. And if you are on Twitter, yes, you can still be watching us live on Facebook, and at the same time, send us a message on Twitter at BroStreetROAD, and on Instagram the same thing, BroStreetROAD. And if you are on our website, you can leave a comment at the comment section at the bottom of the website, which is www.brostreetradio.com. And after the show, I get to look at it. If it's something that we can respond to, we'll respond, and if it's not something we can respond to, definitely we'll send to the professionals in the house, and they get us the answer, and we forward to you. Keep listening. We are still here. There are more things to talk about on the show, so you don't want to be anywhere. And yes, this is Bro Street Radio, your number one business radio station. Back to the discussion. So you were saying, sorry, I need to
No,
quickly
that's not the
say
problem.
that.
That's not the problem. Okay, so before you go, because that's what we're talking on. What do you have to know before you get a property? Now, for every property in a location, the government owns it.
Okay, that's very scary.
So let's say Lagos State. Lagos State owns every property in Lagos.
Okay.
They are in charge. Let me put that. Maybe that sounds better. They are in charge of every.
That even sounds scary more than
They're in
what
charge
you
of
said
every
earlier.
property in Lagos. Now, however, there are people that have stayed in a particular place for a long time.
Okay.
And you can't, their ancestors have stayed there, and you can't just get this away from them. Now, just before you buy any property, you must do a search. Now, there are two types of acquisitions. I don't know if I'm going too deep. I hope you understand. But I'll try to explain that.
Yeah, okay. You're not.
There is this global acquisition, which is what
Okay.
I'll explain, that Lagos State, the state government owns, are in charge of the properties. That's the global acquisition.
Okay.
Now, in the global acquisition, we have committed acquisition. In
Okay.
this committed acquisition, that means government have shown interest in a particular place, a particular property.
Okay.
So before you buy it, and ask yourself, make the search: is government showing interest in this property? Have they segregated this place to provide social amenities or whatsoever they want to use that for? So you need to confirm that before you buy, because some community heads just sell this property without letting you know, but they know.
Yes.
So that's the thing. So it's not just about buying a land. That's why you need to consult a consultant. You need to talk to somebody before you get into buying a property. So you need to do some searches in the land registry to ask if this place, if it's free from government encumbrance.
Okay.
Now, that's for the committed, and we have the general acquisition. General acquisition, okay, the government has not really said anything, so it's open for all. Now, the government now gives a portion of this property through the process of accession.
Okay.
Accession means government has excised this place. Okay, now we're not going to use this place to provide any government. We're not using it for any. We've not shown any interest in this thing. So now we've excised this part for the community. So now this is the part the community can now sell to people.
Okay.
Do you understand? So the government has declared no interest on that property. So you must check these things before you buy any property from anybody. And that's what most developers have done for you.
Okay.
However, you still need to be careful with developers, with companies.
Okay. So speaking of making research,
Yeah.
now that's the developer making the research for you. So are there places where that you yourself can go to make research? At least after getting, it's always good to get like a second opinion on something. Like when you've gotten from someone that you trust so much that this person can get me real information, genuine information. Then you just want to verify from somewhere else again to be sure, double sure. In Lagos, you have to be double sure.
Sure.
So are there places I can go to as an individual to find out as well?
Yes, definitely. You can go as an individual. As I said, I mentioned somewhere where you need to contact the services of a lawyer.
Okay.
Though you can do it yourself if you have. There's a place called the Land Registry, the Bureau of Land. It's in Alausa for Lagos. So they're in charge of everything land in Lagos.
Okay.
They know the ones that have been registered, they know the ones that are committed, they know the ones that are free. So definitely, the Land Registry, that's where you make all these inquiries.
Okay.
You understand? A land that has been surveyed, of course, the Office of the Surveyor handles everything about survey and all that. So if everything is on Hausa, the Land Registry there.
So that means if I get there and that particular property is not there,
Because they're going to
I
ask
should
you
just
for.
forget about it.
Forget about it. Ask questions. You give them the location and where it is. Just let them know. They'll tell you the community that owns it if it's been excised. They'll give you, or some family members. We have family members, and they'll let you know if there is a case on that property.
Okay.
Some family members are fighting over a land, and they sell it to different persons, but the individuals don't know that there's a case on that property. So when you get there, a whole lot of information. If it's free, they will let you know. If it's under siege by the government, they will let you know. If the government has an interest, they will let you know. So there are a whole lot of things.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, there's another critical questions that I really need to ask. In fact, this is a must. As an individual, I can look at a building and be like, oh, this building is good. I can use it for so kind of business. But I don't know the condition of the building. So is there a way I could tell if a building is still in good condition? Not that you buy it, finish, and you see the pillar going down gradually. Is there a way to actually know?
As an individual, you can't know. You are not a civil engineer. You are not. So you need to acquire the services of it. You need to search for these people and good ones and that.
Okay.
Get external hands. See, in the business of real estate, you can't do it on your own.
Okay.
You need to meet with experts
Hmm.
who are inclined to this. They will let you know. They will tell you if this building is standing tall or it's going to fall, and they'll tell you in the year it's going to fall and all that. So that's why they're called experts.
Wow.
So look for building experts. They'll give you more information. Take them to the property you want to buy.
Okay.
They'll give you more information on that.
Okay,
Definitely.
so that brings me to how do I know a good property expert? The reason why I asked this question is because I used to have a brother who works in insurance,
Okay.
and we every time he's back from work we talk a lot. Like he just me, the kind of people he met today, why they did not want to buy insurance and all of that. And when we dissect the whole thing, we discover that it's not the problem is not just from the client. Sometimes it's from the marketer, the insurance marketer, or should I say sales executive, like they usually call them.
Yeah.
You know, most of them are just after that commission. They
Yeah.
don't care if what they are giving you is good, if you need it or you don't need it. So now, and it takes a whole lot for you to be able to get a good insurance marketer, especially in an economy like Nigeria, where everybody just wants to make money and be rich. So now I feel the same thing can happen in the real estate business too, because there are a whole lot of properties out there that companies are looking forward to come and acquire. And of course, there is a beat, there must have been a target and all of that the marketers are working with, or the realtors are working with. Don't let me belittle you guys. You guys are high standard. So how do I know? Because of course, if I'm to step out of this place now, of course, before walking from this street down to the end, I'll see realtor like 5 or 6 realtor offices. So now, how do I know which one is a good one? How do I know?
Ask questions.
Okay, what kind of questions?
Okay. We're having an interaction. Okay, first, you're not the Holy Spirit.
Of course I'm not. Even though today is Sunday, of course I'm not.
I need to mention that, but there are just some things you must know. Do
Mhm.
you understand? It's not sacrosanct. Ask
Okay.
the right questions. Like all the questions you've been asking me, you've asked me. There's something you've asked me. Where is the place first? Where is this property?
Okay.
I should be able, as a realtor,
Mhm.
as a property consultant, I should know where I am taking someone. I should know everything about that property.
Okay.
I'm using myself as an instance. I'm an independent consultant. Before I sell any property, I must get there. I must get all the information.
Okay.
And that's the reason that I can relate that to you. Because
Okay.
it's what I know that
Okay.
I can tell you. If I'm lying, you will know because I'll start stuttering.
Okay.
There's some questions you ask me, I'll be like, when I start doing this, you're already feeling. So I think as a realtor, how do you know a good one? First, the knowledge of the product the person is selling.
Okay.
Ask all the question, where is the location? What are the infrastructures in this location?
Okay.
I don't know if you get, and what's the title on that property? I was supposed to mention what titles are. There, what gives you ownership of the property? That's the title of the land. We have different titles. Now,
We'll get to that.
I'll get
I'm
to
actually
that.
coming
too.
to
Yes,
that.
I'll get to that. So now, ask those questions. What title is on this property?
Okay.
Is it free from government? Of course, nobody will tell you it's not free from government encumbrance. I'll let you know the one that's free and the one that's not free from government encumbrance. So ask that question. Because with the title, you will know if it's assized or not assized. I don't know if you get. Then ask, okay, which company is the person working with? If you meet a realtor. But if you go to the company itself, ask, do your due diligence about the company. How long have they been in business?
Okay.
What's their traction? What have they done in the past? And when you go online, you will see people talk about companies.
Sure.
All the information is online. I don't know if you
I was
get.
just going
you
to
will
ask
see-
now
yes,
that is this something I can Google?
So ask for their website.
Okay.
No, how many properties have they even sold? Those are the
That's
things. Those
another
are the little things you should find out. This company, how many properties have they sold? Because you, from the number of properties they sold, you will know that okay, yes, people have been patronizing these people, and people are still patronizing them. I don't know if you get. So all these little things matter.
Okay.
Do they even have the services of a lawyer?
Okay.
I don't know if you get. Are they just? It's just a one-man firm that is standing. He does the lawyer job. He does everything. He does the surveyor's job. He does. No, there should, because like I said, real estate is a one-man thing. You need to experts need to come together. These are little things you need to find out. Where's the location? And most especially, you need to guarantee. Don't do audio buying. You need to guarantee the place.
Wow.
You need to, if you're not around, send someone. You must go and see the site for yourself.
Okay.
So to confirm, and when you come back to the office, look at the documents. What document does the property have? If they tell you, okay, it has this institution, look at the deed of assignment, go through it. Look at the institution documents, go through it. So you must visualize these things. You must see them.
Okay.
So that's the things. That little things, like I said, you're not the Holy Spirit. Even with all these things, you want to make things. But these are the essential things you must know. You must have the documents at hand. You must see the land for yourself. You must check the title. You must check that. And you too, with the coordinates. I have clients with the coordinates, they still go to the land registry to check
To go and
if
check.
that property is registered.
Wow.
I don't know if you get
Wow.
so.
So now let's come to the title aspects.
Okay.
So what are the titles? Because me and I don't know any. Mr. is Mr. Mrs. is Mrs. In fact, there are times I will hear governor consent, CEO consent, who else consent? I don't even know the difference. So can you please? So can you tell us what titles are there and what are the difference? You know, how do you know?
Okay. First, every property must have a deed of assignment.
Okay.
Okay. Because you're asking what documents you should have when you purchase a building. Mentioning that. Here's your receipt, your contract of sale. There's the deed of assignment. Deed of assignment transfers ownership from the assignor to the assignee, meaning it transfers ownership from the seller to the purchaser.
To the purchaser, okay?
Yes. So the name will have to change. So if you're buying a property from me, I need to give you the deed of assignment. The deed of assignment now shows that I'm no longer the owner of this property. You were now the owner.
Oh.
So deed of assignment has everything about the land.
Okay.
Who was the owner before? Who was it transferred from?
Okay.
To you, the date it was transferred, where the property is located, even under the local government it is located.
Wow.
The lawyer that signed the deed.
Okay.
Everything is detailed in the deed of assignment. So that's one title. It's a title.
Sorry, and that deed of assignment is different from the contract you mentioned.
Yes, the
earlier.
contract of sale is just the company and you. Yes.
Ah.
Deed of assignment is what you're going to take
Okay.
to the land registry to be registered.
Oh.
I advise people to register their deed.
Okay.
Because when you register, nobody else can take over the land.
Wow.
So I advise, when you get the deed of assignment, try to register that deed of assignment. So even if something comes up, it's already in their record.
Okay.
Like this property is yours.
Okay.
I don't know if you get, so it's important that you register that deed of assignment. It's different from contract. They have the same, almost the same content, but it's different. The contract is just the contract between you, the seller, and the buyer. But the deed of assignment, it's a global one. It's the government.
Okay.
You get that, yeah, so that's different. So transferring ownership from one person. Contract of sale does not transfer ownership. Contract of sale just shows that, okay, this person bought property. It's just an agreement
Okay.
of purchases. I don't know if you get.
Okay.
But deed of assignment transfers ownership from the
Seller to the buyer.
Yes.
Okay. So what's now governor's consent?
So okay, now that is now one. So because your deed, I'm going to accession. I mentioned accession. That's another title on your property. When I talked about committed lands and free and general acquisition, the general acquisition, like I said, the government has not shown any interest in that property, and now they can now assign a place, a part of the land to the community that has been there for a long time to say okay, and that's through the process of accession. That's how they are able to give the community, okay, now you can use this land for yourself. Can that sell? So the community can decide whatever they want to use that property to do. So that's the process of accession. So the government have said, okay, this property we're not using it to provide accession amenities. We don't need it. We don't have any interest in this property. You can use it for whatsoever reason whatever
You want.
you want. So that's institution. Now in this institution we have gazette.
Okay.
A gazette is a list of villages the government want to grant institution or
Wow.
community. So it's a record where these villages are. So when the institution is now recorded,
Mhm.
it means it is gazetted. That's gazette.
Okay.
That's another form. Then we have the certificate of occupancy, which we know, which everybody knows.
Mm.
And it's the same thing, just showing that the government has leased you this property to use for 99 years.
Wow.
So there is a number of years attached to certificate of occupancy.
Okay.
So they're telling you, we've leased you, you are now the new owner. Like I said, I mentioned before, that government is in charge of all properties. But
Mhm.
the government is telling you, for this number of years, 99 years max, you are the owner of this property. You
Okay.
do whatsoever you want to do with it.
Mm.
So that, and C of O is something you can use. When your land is excised, you are free. It's free from government encumbrance.
Okay.
Look at time. It's free from government
Wow.
encumbrance.
That
Now, with certificate of occupancy,
Okay.
it is free, yes,
Mhm.
and you can use it for, but it is limited to 99 years. Extension is not limited.
Oh.
Yes, but the reason people go for C of O properties is because they can use it to get loans for mortgages and all that.
Okay.
Yes, you can use it to apply for so many things, for funds and loans for
Wow.
C of O. That's just why the reason. Now, governor's consent, because C of O is given to a property only once. You
Okay.
can't have C of O on the same. You can't have two C of O's on the same property. Now, let's say the property you have has a C of O. If you want to transfer that property to me, I can't apply for another C of O. So what we can just apply for is governor's consent. So it says because the C of O cannot be granted on the same property twice.
Okay, but how come? Wow. There's still so much I want to ask you that we don't have time
That's no
anymore.
problem.
Wow. Looks like I will have to bring you again because that C of O you just mentioned, I heard C of O a lot, and I heard governor consent a lot. And most times you meet some realtor or real estate agent, they will tell you the land doesn't have C of O, but there's governor consent. And sometimes they will tell you there's C of O, but are they the same?
Same thing.
They are the same.
Same thing. Like I said, you can't grant C of O twice on a property.
On a
It's the
property.
same property.
Okay, so what if, let me just quickly ask you this, then I will have to let you go.
Okay.
If I want to sell to someone now and the land already have a C of O, so how do I change my name from that person's name to, or how do I change that person's name to mine or mine to the person?
That's something.
Since you can't get another C of O again.
What you will now be granted is
Governor's consent.
Yes, that's what
Okay,
you
so
will
if
be
that
granted.
person wants to sell to someone else,
Same
okay?
thing is governor's
Governor's
consent. You
consent.
keep
So
getting.
that one, the name, there is nothing to change on it. It's just one document, nothing to change on the
Because
document.
the name will be there.
My name will be there as the owner.
The governor's yes. No.
Okay,
When
only
you're
the-
transferring,
yeah.
it's on the property.
Okay.
Do you understand? The title is on the
On the property, not the owner.
It's on the property. So, but on that property, though it's going to still have a name. But when you're transferring to bear the new person's name.
The new person's
Yes,
name.
the new person's name.
And so what I'm saying now is, let's say I bought, you were the owner before. I bought from you the land, and before I got it from you, it already have C of O. Then, when you want to sell to me, I have to get a governor's consent, right?
Just because
Which
you can't
also
get another
have my
CFO,
name
yes.
because I can't get another C of O.
Yeah.
Now let's say I want to sell to her.
That's how it keeps transferring.
So now the name on the governor consent as the owner.
The
The new owner.
So do we just go to business center to change the name?
No,
then
that's
visit
I
there,
mentioned land
or
registry.
go back
no.
to? You get what I'm saying now?
There's a land- You can't even get governor's consent. You hear the name governor's consent. Governor's signing.
I know because
It's
I know
not
that
that you
because
get
that
on the
governor
land
consent has to
registry.
my name has to be on it, right? As the owner of the.
Yes.
So now if I want to sell to her, do I change? Do I just
No,
change
no,
the
it's
name?
not something
or-
I-
There is an
yourself.
application to it. It's not like.
So does that mean we're going to apply for another governor's consent?
You're applying.
Definitely.
Oh,
There's
so that
there's
means-
a whole lot of.
So if I get
process.
you right now, you can't get two C of O on a property, but you can get more than one
So what you
governor
keep getting
consent.
is governor's
Consent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you keep getting
Wow,
governor's
wow. I need to let you go now because the sports guys needs to come in and I'm already using their time. Wow, thank you so much for coming. Wow, this has been And I have another question here for you, though. Let's just quickly answer this, then we'll be done. How do I make sure I don't fall into the hands of Omonile? I make them way Lagos.
Okay. See, I'm on it.
Shortest answer
Is-
means
okay.
just go through a registered and recognized organization. But even though yes, you can't outrightly do away with them because somehow somewhere
They'll still
sneak
find
in.
the way in.
But I would say that the impact would not be as the same if you were going to do it by yourself. You know, she said this real estate business and investment is not something you can do all by yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's advisable to go through consulting companies who already have relationships and who already have the experience
Yeah.
in all this, in everything concerning real estate. So
Okay.
it kind of reduce the need to have any communication with your money. You will still have, there might still be, you know, maybe when you're building, but the impact is not as much as if you decide to do
To do it
everything
on your
all by
own.
yourself.
Okay.
Okay,
Wow.
that's-
Thank you so much for that. Wow. It's good having you in here. The two which is to power two. Thank you so much for
Thank you
coming.
so much.
In fact, I'm sure that our listeners have learned a whole lot from you today, and hopefully, I will be able to bring you back here again because when you didn't finish this topic, there are still some other things that we need to touch, but we couldn't. I mean, our time is fast spent, but
Yeah.
trust me, I will have to bring you back here again. And honestly, I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for
And
having
before
us.
you go, please, in case somebody wants to reach out to you to do business with you, do you mind giving your number or your social media platform? I don't know, whichever.
Okay. Okay, maybe I'll just give my number. I think that's the easiest way.
Okay.
So 070. My name is Uche, like your own name.
And
So
we have
you-
two Uche actually.
Yes.
So
Okay,
maybe
Uche
you want to
John.
put your surname.
My name is Uche John. You
Okay.
can reach me on 070-3321-7784.
Okay, can you call that slowly?
Okay, 070
Mm-hmm.
33
Mm-hmm.
21
Mm-hmm.
7784.
So, power two.
Okay, so you can reach me. My name is Uche Boni Okoli, or you can say Uche Boni.
Okay.
08032292785. 322-92785.
All right, so there you have it. Our two Uche raised to power two Uche Bonnie, and let me just stop at that.
Yeah.
Uche Bonnie Okoli and Uche John. The two of them are realtor, and I can tell you that these are people that are trusted. You can do business with them in case you have one or two property that you have your mind set on for a long time and you don't know how to go about it. Trust me, they are here to support you. You've gotten their numbers already. You can just dial the number and they will help you out with whatever need you, anything you want to talk about real estate. And don't forget, this is Broad Street Radio, your number one business radio station, and you've been listening to Sunday Groove on the segment of Real Estate Today. And my name is Ojo Lasisi, aka Rainover. Don't forget, if you want to reach out to Ross, probably you want to ask a question or something, or you want to do business with us or for sponsorship and advert, you can call the number 080-9791-0074 or 080-3436-1400 or 080-9791-0073. And you can also reach out to us via email, which is broadstreetradio@gmail.com. And in case you want to come to our office, yes, you can come to our office at Medipe House, 5860 Broad Street, Marina, Lagos. And yes, this is where we're going to be drawing the curtain for Real Estate Today. Again, join us same time next week as I bring you another interesting topic, and probably we might even continue from where we stop. But then, don't go anywhere. Programming continues. This is Broad Street Radio, your number one business radio station, and my name is Ojo Lasisi, aka Renova, your one and only. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Sunday Grooves continues.